But the government, I didn't believe it when I heard it all the time, that they wait for us to pass, the veterans. Then they don't have to take care of us. And I never believed that, but that's true.
Be Inspired podcast. Real stories from real people. Sharing stories of love and loss, struggles and perseverance, laughter and tears, and overcoming adversity.
Well, one of the favorite topics that we like to cover on the Be Inspired series is when we hear inspiring stories from our veterans. And our guest today is doing tremendous work in helping veterans who struggle with mental illness, drug addiction, homelessness, and more. Hi, I'm Bert Barron.
And I'm Lisa Anderson.
And we welcome you to Be Inspired. And Lisa, it's really true when this program spotlights efforts that are being done by our veterans, because I feel that there is no more significant of a contribution or a sacrifice that one can make that outweighs serving our country. And I'm real honored to be in the presence of a veteran today.
I agree. And there's not enough stories or attention on them. So happy we could do this
Absolutely.
today.
It is an honor and a privilege to welcome Marty Weber to today's edition of Be Inspired. Marty, maybe you've heard it enough times, maybe you haven't heard it enough times, but anytime we have the privilege of being in the presence of a veteran and having them share their story on this show, it's an honor for me, and I thank you for your service, so thank you for being here. Walk us through your military career. Where was your service and what years, and talk about your military life.
I served in the 80s when I graduated high school down in Pinelands, regional down in Tuckerton, New Jersey. The same year I wanted to go in the military, I wanted to leave home, and that was my way to get away from home. So I signed up for the military, and I served 6 years in Germany.
Wow.
It was great years.
Why'd you want to leave home, Marty?
Just to get on my own.
Okay.
To be on my own,
Yeah.
to be my own person.
Young age, a
Yeah.
lot of, yeah.
It was a rough life living home when I was younger, and I just wanted to move on.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. I joined the military and went to Germany and spent 6 years, just shy of 6 years over there.
And it was then that you met
I met Jeff.
Jeff. Now tell us about Jeff.
Jeff was my life partner for 31 years.
Difficult to talk about.
He came down with cancer. And the government did nothing.
You feel that had he been given the help that he needed and the care, that he would still be here today?
Oh, he'd be here today, yeah. I'm just an EMT, and I even called his military doctor. And I said, Doc, it's nothing, I don't know, you're the doctor. I said, but this guy's standing at a toilet 9 hours a day trying to pee, and he's not peeing. Something wrong with the bladder. And it turned out that's what it was. He had a tumor in his bladder. And the tumor just got too big. And his bladder ripped. When I got him into the civilian hospital, they told me it's a matter of weeks now. If you were here 10 days ago, we could have gave Jeff another 15 years to live. It was just 10 days short. But the government, I didn't believe it when I heard it all the time, that they wait for us to pass, the veterans. Then they don't have to take care of us. And I never believed that, but that's true. The government does no help. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing now. I had to step up to the plate. I ran for Congress last year. I became friends with Andy Kim, who I ran against. Him and I are good friends. We have our cell phone numbers now. I can call him whenever I want. He's helping me with my cause. And I'm glad I didn't win my seat last year, because I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now.
And what is that?
I have 36 acres. I'm a self-employed landscaper. Jeff and I started the business over on LBI is where we work, Long Beach Island, North End. I have 36 acres that I live on. I want to do tiny homes for the U.S. vets. I donated the property for the cause. We have a medical team that jumped on board with us, who's going to give us a long lease. And I'm just going to step up. We're going to help vets. I want to drop the suicide rate. Veterans that need help, come see us. We'll find the help for you. because the government's not doing it. So it was the best thing I could do, I think. God just gave me a hint, help the vets.
Yeah, Marty, when I hear about homelessness, there's something that's just, I don't know, inherently wrong when I hear about a veteran, someone who has served our country admirably, that doesn't even have a roof over their head. And I know that efforts have been made, and having that connection that you have in Congress and having a representative who you at least have the attention of, I'm sure makes some strides. But to be able to do it yourself, to say, I personally am making a difference. I mean, these are people that maybe you formed bonds with back when you served in the 80s, and for people going forward who will always have that need. To be able to make a difference yourself has got to be kind of a rewarding feeling. But you did this because you wanted to help people. That's what it comes down to, right?
Right. Jeff should have had the help. It wasn't there. I've been trying for almost 19 months now to get an appointment with the VA. And I told them it was all a lie just to see how the process would work. I told them I got a bump on my pancreas. I only got one kidney. I donated one to a friend. And I still don't have an appointment for that. A bump on the pancreas, and they still, this is almost 2 years now.
Do you think it's because they're overwhelmed? Do you think it's because there's such a need out there and a lack of folks that can
I think the
provide
government just doesn't really care about their veterans, and that's coming from the bottom of my heart. I would have never said that before, but I really, truly believe these politicians are all in there for one reason: their pocket. Number two reason, their party line. And it's sad that it's like that. The reason I ran for Congress was to help the vets. I think we need term limits, and we need to help our veterans that dodge the bullets, catch the bullets. Even families that lost their mother or father in these wars we fight, those kids don't even get help the right way. They're ignored.
How bad is the situation with the veterans, say, in our area?
In our area,
Yeah.
it needs to be shut down. We need to shut the VA healthcare system down 100%. We need to give our veterans an ID card so they can go to their local hospital, their local doctor, and we pay those bills. Then we're not doing the upkeep of the hospitals, the doctors, and the equipment, and the training. Shut it down because it's not working. Why, the government keeps on putting money into it, but it still ain't working. It's broke, 100% broke. And 2 years ago, I wouldn't have said that. But seeing how Jeff suffered and what he went through and what I see from other people now suffering, I have a full bird colonel, 100% disabled, retired veteran. He can't get his hearing aids. 3 years now, he's still fighting for hearing aids. He's a full bird colonel, retired out, served all over this country of ours, and he can't get help.
It seems like there needs to be, Marty, just sort of a shift in the mindset when they say, well, can we finance a military operation or a combat? The question is, can you finance the aftermath of any sort of military operation? Because that's where it seems like the real costs come in. How do we now take care of the people and make them whole for the sacrifices that they made? Do you get a sense that maybe the mindset, are we kind of going in that direction at all, Marty, or do we need to go more in that way?
We need to go more that way, and the government's not doing it. That's why me as a civilian now, I'm ready to step up. I'm actually running for township committee in my town because I want to have that little extra help. People said it's a political reason. Is that why you're running? Nope, not political, 100%. It's just to try to help these vets.
Just
You
to be a
have
voice. To be a
Exactly.
voice.
Yeah, I
right?
want to be that voice out there for the veterans now. It's my next life.
Marty, tell us your vision for, you named it after your life partners.
I did not name it.
Okay, who
The
named it?
group that we put together, the nonprofit group, I had
Jeff's
nothing to do with the name. They called me up and they said, we got the name, Marty. And I said, what? And it put me in tears. They said, Jeff's camp. His legacy will go on forever. My vision is to fight through the Pinelands Commission because I am in the Pine Barrens, but they want to see us do a large home there and put the guys and the girls in this home. I don't want that. I want their individual homes. I want these little tiny homes that are 10 foot by 15 foot, where that's their piece of life right now. That's where they can go to be themselves. But I would like to put up 100 of them, those little tiny homes.
They're
We
great.
want to put a chapel so people want to pray. they have a chapel to go to. And then the medical center up front we're putting up is a 4,000 square foot building for them, plus a 4,000 square foot thrift store that is going to be 100% run by the vets that are living there,
It's awesome.
both male, female. People have asked me, what if a civilian person came up? We'll never shut our door on anybody like the government does on their veterans. We will find them somewhere to go to. If we can't help them, we'll find a place to go for them.
And what this approach also does, Marty, this allows individuals to kind of maintain their sense of independence, right? You feel like you're living on your own, in your own home.
Exactly.
As opposed to a group setting where people might not be able to exist and be as comfortable in. This is your little slice of the world. This is your home. You are safe here. Everything you need is right here for you, and just maintaining that sense of independence is such an important thing for people that have served, of course, in the military, where you kind of have this feeling like you're taking on the world. Well, now you have this own little slice of the world that's all yours. And
Exactly.
it's as peaceful as you want it to be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where they can go back at the end of the day and feel that's their home. That's
Yeah.
their little piece of ground. The rent's going to be cheap. It's $99 a month. If you can't afford it, it's no big deal.
There you
Wow.
go.
We're going to have staff 24/7 that is going to be working there. The vets are going to get help. The community that's coming together, I never thought I'd be in the spot we are now with the amount of support that is being thrown our way. It's phenomenal. It really is. It puts me in tears to think of sometimes the professional hockey players that jumped on board. We got a football player from New England jumped on boards, sitting in my house, 2-time Super Bowl champ. I mean, stuff like that. I just never imagined it would have been this fast. But they're jumping out and they're helping us.
I picture Jeff upstairs smiling down and saying, wow,
Big time.
look how far
Big
you've
time.
come. I don't know why there aren't tiny homes for so many other folks.
Sure.
I think tiny homes are great. First of all, it's less cleaning, but second of all, folks need them. They're perfect for people who cannot afford, $2,000 a month rent. And
Right.
they need to be up there. They've been shot down so many times. So good for you that you're moving forward with these tiny homes. It should be really for all the homeless, I think.
It was hard to sign the paper. Because I remember signing those papers to buy that land with Jeff.
Yeah.
And then I was signing to give it away.
You'll never really be without it. It'll always be with you. And
I can't wait to help that first vet.
there you go. It's always with you.
No.
Yeah, what a feeling it will be when that first person opens up that door for the first time and sets foot inside. That'll be a lifetime's worth of work in a fleeting moment.
I
that's
can't
for
wait for
sure.
that day.
And wow, I'm sure anybody watching or listening today is pulling for you to see that moment come to fruition. No doubt about it.
Right.
For sure. If someone wants to find out, or if there's a list to get a home, or to be involved with Jeff's camp, how can they reach you, Marty?
JustBelieveInc.com.
Okay.
That's a nonprofit group out of Toms River for the homeless people.
Right.
We joined forces with them to be able to make this come true. And that's what they can do. They can Google it, or they could just Google Jeff's Camp, Barnegat, New Jersey, and it'll come up.
Thank you so much for helping our veterans. They deserve it.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they
Yes,
do.
they do. There's too many that aren't helped.
Yeah, and some other events that are coming up on the calendar too, where folks can get involved and jump
Right.
in and help at events, right?
Yeah, Labor Day weekend, Saturday of Labor Day weekend, I wanted to do a barbecue for the vets, and it was open for just the vets. We want to do scallops, fish, things like that, and let them come and talk to me, the team, Andy Kim. Jeff Andrew wants to come up and get involved. Now we opened it to the public, so everybody can come. Just come and enjoy a free barbecue, make a donation if you can, and help the vets. And that's what we're working on, donations now. Our goal is the $3 million project. Paul was saying 2.5. I think it's going to be more around 3. But we're going to raise that money. I mean, the money's coming in now. My customers on LBI, the wealthy ones, they're making donations. And it's just great to see the support from these people coming to help the vets.
And you thought you were just going to be a landscaper. Surprise, surprise. Well, thank you, Marty, for
You're
all you
welcome.
do, and on behalf of all the veterans. And I think this is so needed. And, you
Yeah.
know, it can only grow from here because the need is out there.
Yep. And bless you. And again, thank you for your service and thank you for what you mean to veterans. One more time, if someone wants to get more involved.
JustBelieveInc.com or .org, I think it is. Or just Google Jeff's Camp, Barnegat, New Jersey, and you'll see a bunch of articles up.
Terrific. Marty Weber, thank you for joining us on Be Inspired. It was an honor to have you here, sir. And again, thank you for your service to our country.
It was an honor to be here. Thank you.
I'm Burt Barron,
And I'm Lisa Anderson.
and thank you for joining us on Be Inspired.
Hi, I'm Marty Weber. I'd like to ask the government if they could step up and start helping the veterans, the guys and girls that fight for this country to keep us free so we could buy our home, have our own business, and just live as free people. Step up. We need to help our veterans that are sick, that are ill, the ones that are PTSD. We need to drop that suicide rate. So let's help our vets because we got to love them and we got to show that we love them. God bless, and God bless our veterans.
Next on Be Inspired.
I woke up and I was freezing, and I remember walking down the stairs of my home and getting into the ambulance.
Last thing I knew, she said was on a BiPAP mask, and the nurse said, "That's the bridge to a ventilator."
And while I was in that fentanyl coma, my brother passed away.
I saw hope in her case.
Maybe my story will help somebody, and maybe that's my purpose.
Be Inspired with your hosts Burt Barron and Lisa Anderson Puleo. Directed by Rod Weber. Created and produced by Michael R. Doyle. Co-producers Burt Barron, Lisa Anderson Puleo, Rebecca Gruber, and Erwin Sternberg. Executive producers Rod Weber and Sean M. Sternberg. Editor Rebecca Gruber. Filmed at New Beginnings Foundation, Wall Township, New Jersey. Season 5 of Be Inspired is dedicated to the memory of Golden Boy Michael Cammett. Michael was a rising star in the world of professional wrestling who died in a tragic accident this past summer. His memory and legacy live on in the lives he touched, and he will always be remembered by family, friends, and fans.